Hello everyone and welcome to Business Morning, Tuesday, May the 23rd. I am Bosin Omofaye in Lagos. A very crucial business day of key considerations and decisions by the 10-member Monetary Policy Committee of the Central Bank of Nigeria expected to be delivered after lunchtime from 2 p.m. local time. Meantime, this is breaking news. The National Bureau of Statistics has released the first quarter 2017 gross domestic product figures showing the Nigerian economy contracted 0.52% in the first 3 months of the current year. Let's pause there a little bit and give you the details of this new report as it's just breaking as we speak. First quarter GDP for Nigeria down 0.52%, showing Nigeria remains in recession in the first 3 months of 2017. This is the fifth GDP contraction of Africa's most populous and largest economy since the first quarter of 2016. The contraction in the first quarter of 2017 higher by 1.21% over the last quarter or Q4 of 2016. According to this report, the real growth of the oil sector of Nigeria's economy slowed 11.64% year-on-year in the first quarter, and the non-oil sector, on the green shoot that we have in this report, up 0.72%, about 0.75% was the non-oil sector growth in the first quarter of 2017. This is the news as we're getting it, and this set of data. During the quarter under review, the aggregate GDP was 26.028 trillion naira in nominal terms. That's higher than 22.235 trillion reported in the first quarter of 2016, resulting in a nominal GDP growth of 17.06%. So over a year-on-year basis, on nominal terms, Nigeria's GDP grew 17.06% and higher relative to growth recorded in first quarter 2016, 11.39%. That is the breaking news as we have it right now. We have all the numbers for you, and of course the Bureau of Statistics is putting this on their website. You can see that we're chatting to the Statistician General, Dr. Yemi Kale, on the show and within the hour from our Abuja studios. Also on the show today are a few guests who will be speaking to the latest GDP numbers and provide outlook ahead of the 2 o'clock MPC decisions announcement from the Central Bank Chief Godwin Emefiele. From our Abuja studios, Economist and Chief Executive Officer of Time Economics, Ogo Okite, is live there to us this morning. Dr. Okite, good morning. It's good to have you.
Good morning, Bosin. How are you doing?
Well, I'm good, and it's good to have you in the studios at this time. Let's go straight into that latest GDP figures, and I'm going to recap that for you very quickly. We got that on our hands now. First quarter GDP contracted 0.52% year-on-year. This is the fifth GDP contraction since the first quarter of 2016, higher by 1.21% from the fourth quarter 2016 GDP. The oil sector down in the first quarter, non-oil sector, however, up by 0.72%. Give us your thoughts with this breaking news.
Well, I think this is good news to the extent that it further demonstrates that the figure that we had in the fourth quarter of 2016 and now that of the first quarter of 2016 showed that the crisis of the last 2 years has bottomed out, and we have reached the depth of the crisis. And what we are seeing now is an improvement on the data and improvement in the economy, even though we have not reached the point of economic growth yet, but we have started to see improvement. And that is also showing in everything that is happening around in the economic conditions, the economic environment, and now the data is bearing out that we have started to see some improvement. I want to comment specifically, however, on the oil output, because I think the main reason why we still experience negative growth in the first quarter of 2017 is because the oil output did worse in first quarter of 2017 compared to the first quarter of 2016. And I think we need to note that. I think that may be the main reason, or that will account for the most reason why we are actually still in negative growth. But I am glad that the economy crisis has bottomed out. We have started to see signs of improvement in the economy, and I'm sure perhaps in the next quarter we should see economic growth for the first time in the last 18 months.
Do you think that Nigerians will agree with you that yes, the recession has actually bottomed out, taking these GDP numbers into consideration? Again, very quickly, one of the reports that we got on Monday, that was yesterday, from Vertiva Capital Management, actually predicted that the GDP will be a negative 0.7%, but will be a positive 2.2% in the second quarter, and we're ending the second month in the second quarter by next week. Okay, Dr. Okiti, okay.
I'm hearing you again.
Okay, let me quickly rephrase that. The data that we got of what we call forecast from one investment and securities firm, Vertiva Capital, on Monday, that was yesterday, stated that the GDP in the first quarter will be 0.7% contraction. We just got from Dr. Yemi Kale's statistics office that is 0.52% and negative. But the outlook, one of the forecasts was 2.2% in this second quarter. Do you agree? Does that agree with your thinking that yes, we're bottoming out?
Yes, it does. It does, definitely. These data are very clear. And the oil output data is something that we should actually watch. The oil output data is very important. Like I said, if you look at the first quarter of 2017, the output data did not do so well compared to the first quarter of 2016. I think the output data for the second quarter of this year is doing much better. That's the first thing. But I also think the second thing is that since the start of the year, we have started to see a significant exchange rate realignment between